early in the game?
Yeah, significant. Probably change. It has a ripple effect. You're putting Kurt there. He hasn't done any reps there. We wanted to use Kurt at 13 and a bit out of 9. You know, so it forces not to change the style that you want to play. With Kurt Mann coming back, we were excited to have him back in the team and allow us to play a bit more footy. But it also forces Chris Randall to play the duration, you know, which is a tough ask in the middle against that mob, you know, with how fast they are and how much they move you around, how relentless they are. That's a big ask for Randy. So, yeah, significant when you look at it that way.
How is he?
Yeah, he's good, actually. I just spoke to him then, so he's fine.
The protocol is that he's got a 7-day stand-down. Is there any doubt about him playing next week against
Nah, based on... He'll do the protocols. The 7 days are pretty clear, so I would have given him a rest for the next few days anyway, so get on with it.
Adam, can you explain? I think your last 5 home games, they've all been 13-plus scorelines. Some of them, I think the Storm game was 50, wasn't it? Can you...
Yep.
Only 1 or 2 tries each game. Can you put a finger on why your home form's so bad?
If I could, I'd have more than one finger on it. I'd have the whole hand on it. Yeah, look, number one, let's be honest, quality opposition. The top 4 teams are the ones like Melbourne and Penrith. It's not an excuse, but, you know, Penrith just finished putting 40 on Melbourne. You know, on the team coming second, they put 36. But, you know, I'm not in here to... Melbourne shouldn't have to put up with me talking about that, but they're a good footy team. But we've let ourselves down in a number of areas here at home, and I can assure you no one sets out to disappoint our supporters. No one. All right, we want to put in performances that we can be proud of, but yeah, unfortunately, with the reality of where we need to get to, or the areas, or if you look at the opposition, we were envious of them. That's the organisation that we want to get to, and it's going to take time. It is not a quick fix. There's some stuff here that's been ingrained for, you know, I wouldn't say years, I'd say close to 2 decades that we need to get on top of, and they're not quick fixes, and rarely is progress or success in a straight line. There's dips and, you know, plateaus, and we're going through a fair bit of it, but we've got to stick at it.
Speaking about that, those big losses, are you seeing incremental improvement? Because
in individuals, not in DNA at the moment. I think that, you know, we've still got some choices to make. You know, whether it's around personnel or how we approach pre-seasons and stuff like that, we need to fix up, because, you know, there is a trend there where, you know, you look at tonight, there was 4 last play tries where they try their backsides off for 4 tackles, but, you know, unfortunately, the easiest tackle to give yourself an out on is the 5th, and we gave ourselves an out, and we do that too often.
So is that a conditioning thing? Is it a mental thing? Like,
yeah, combination of both. Yeah, I wouldn't say that it's all physically. They train hard, they get all that done, but some of it's experience too. You know, some experience in and around guys can set off a little bomb, but it ends up being a big bomb. So, you know, there's no doubt there's experience, but it's not all on players either. You know, it's staff. We've all got to be working really hard at eradicating this, and we're fortunate we've got the right people in the organisation, and we've identified. We just got to, as I said, it's not an easy fix, but trust me, we're working at it every day.
And today it seems like it's a lack of effort or enthusiasm, just I guess the lack of the golfing class between that team, the benchmark, the premiers, and where you guys are at, more so than lack of effort.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. The first 2 tries were disappointing in terms of, I reckon it was a little bit of lack of effort on kick chase, and they moved the ball to the right edge and got us on line breaks, and then and there was some effort stuff there, like they kick a 40-20 and, you know, as a try. Like goal line stuff, I thought we could have been a little bit more resilient, but yeah, I feel like the team is responding, and they're trying to... There are some moments where we're trying our backsides off, but yeah, I think you're right with the class. You know, look at the 2 halves, Origin halves, and, you know, Edwards have been together for a while now. That's a pretty handy spine, and then they've got some athleticism around them. So there's no doubt they're a hard team to play against. Absolutely.
Adam, you've got another big crowd there. Have you got anything you'd like to say to the fans? They just seem to stick by you week in, week out, don't they?
Yeah. We appreciate them doing that. You know, we're not, as I said to you, no one's setting out to let them down or have them leave the stadium, you know, feeling disappointed in their footy team. No one's setting out to do that. But, yeah, as I said, there's some stuff there that, to get sustained success, if you look at the Melbournes and then, you know, those guys today are on their path for it, it's not an easy fix, but I'm confident that if you can get the momentum rock rolling, it'll feed itself. But, you know, it's going to take some heavy pushing at the start from in a lot of areas as an organisation to get it going. But that's what we get out of bed for every day, to try and please those people that fill those stands.
Adam, can you give an idea of what some of those things are, the things that you're talking about that's ingrained? Because I suppose a couple of years you made the finals, and I suppose you're talking about things that are holding the club back. Could you give us an idea, or the fans an idea of what, I suppose, the things you want to see?
Yeah, there's too many things to just really narrow down, but you know, we've got to get our pathways right. We've got to get our recruitment and our retention right. We've got to get our training right, our game model. There's a fair few things, and as I said to you before, there's a lot of good people that are making a lot of improvements that aren't that clear to see from, you know, the outside in, but they are happening, and they're putting some really, really good building blocks on some foundations that we can get through the other side. But my main concern is the team, and making sure that we're honest with ourselves and where we're at, and identify that there is some shortcomings there that have to be fixed daily for us to achieve it in a game at the end of the week, to be successful ongoing, you know.
Adam, you mentioned recruitment there. You announced on Friday you've signed Jack Hetherington and
Adam Elliott.
Yeah, Adam Elliott.
Yeah.
I mean, what will they bring to the team next year?
Yeah, both those guys compete. They're fit, tough competitors. Number one. That's what we need to fill the join of the DNA of the Knights. You know, back 20 odd years ago, when, you know, the likes of Bedsy and, you know, Chief, all those tough, fit competitors, and I think both of those guys represent that. You know, Jack's got good leg speed for a big guy, you know, and the modern game requires to have that leg speed. You know, there's some guys that we played against tonight that you can certainly feel their leg speed, and I think Adam's are the same mould. But I think both guys, you know, will compete in the game. They're tough, they're physical, they'll add to our culture, they'll speak in meetings, they're men.
What about Jack Hetherington's obviously had quite a few suspensions. How do you sort of prevent that from happening in the future?
I'm not scared of that. I think Jack understands, you know, that he's identified some tackle tech issues there that he's worked really hard at fixing. I think it's more around understanding the player and the timings of when he's got himself into trouble, and, you know, some of it could be around a fatigue factor and getting the interchange right around him.
Thanks, folks.
Thanks,